HPA, potash, Salt Lake in WA. Tell us about this opportunity.
So we have a project about 500 kilometres east of here, Perth, and in the top 2 metres of that particular salt lake is something in the order of about $15 billion worth of high purity alumina, which is HPA. It's a niche mineral, not well known, but a vital part of the energy transition and also a lot of the modern technology that's being put together nowadays. It's used extensively in the semiconductor industry to help keep the semiconductors cool and also to help polish some of the particles that go into those semiconductors. And so, as we can imagine, with data centers emerging, globally, there's a huge demand for semiconductors, and that's really driving some significant demand for HPA. And secondly, lithium-ion batteries, where it's also used to prevent a thermal runaway. So HPA is it's thermally inert, it's chemically inert, so it allows chemistry to pass through, but not the heat. And so we've seen pictures of lithium-ion batteries catching on fire. That's because these separators are peeled away from the battery floor. The chemistry just gets out of control and they blow up. So we have a deposit that we believe is easy to mine and relatively straightforward to process. We are potentially the lowest cost producer of HPA globally. You mentioned potash. So along the way, we've also discovered a method of making potash and hydrochloric acid, both in great demand in Western Australia. And so we've now got two parallel opportunities from the same set of lakes. So Western Australia is an amazing place for all sorts of different types of deposits.
With the Alluminous pilot plant now producing HPA in Perth, can you explain how Alluminous fits into Impact Minerals?
Last year, we purchased a 50% share of a company that now owns the technology to produce HPA here in Perth. Currently, that uses a chemical feedstock, which is aluminium sulfate. That's the same material and minerals that are in our lake. So at the moment, we're looking to try and integrate the Lake Hope as a feedstock for this high purity alumina process. The acquisition came with a pilot plant that was about 80% complete. We've now got that operating in batch mode, which means that we're one of the few companies anywhere, not just in Australia, that can produce reasonable quantities of HPA to give out to customers.
Explain the relationship between Impact Minerals and Konico at the Commonwealth Gold Silver Project in New South Wales.
So the Commonwealth project we've had for many years, and we've been sitting on that for quite some time because we've been focused on the HPA. So last year we did a joint venture deal with Konico, and Konico are earning in. They can spend $3 million over 4 years to earn a 70% interest in the project, and Impact is free carried at a 30% interest to a decision to mine. So Konico are undertaking their first phase of drilling as we speak now, and we recently announced that we've intersected some massive sulfides. I'm expecting some spectacular assays, and we're very excited by what is going to happen there.
Is there any other major news flow that the market should expect in the next couple of months?
Well, so far we've been putting out one announcement per week since the start of the year, and because we're covering a lot of areas. We've got the Lake Hope HPA, the Alluminous strategy, we've got Commonwealth, we've got our potash and hydrochloric acid development, and we've also recently announced some very interesting geophysical results at Broken Hill. That was very close to my heart. Impact was one of the first companies to be on the BHP Explore program, and whilst BHP is no longer involved, we developed some very interesting targets that we're probably going to drill in the next couple of months.
In 30 seconds, can you explain why Impact Minerals represents a compelling opportunity for investors right now?
So Impact is developing a high purity alumina project, which we believe will be the lowest cost producer of that mineral globally. We're entering into a market that's growing about 20% per annum, and we're expecting some exciting offtake agreements in the next couple of years. On the other side, we're still doing a bit of exploration, and we see potential significant upside there on drilling at Commonwealth and also at our Broken Hill project in New South Wales.